Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by our 2015-2016 officers, Kate Priswar and Lynn Gwynn, and remain standing for the national anthem sung by Dahlia Hazimi, Rachel Frigo, and Sarah Turgi.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, family, friends, executive directors of student achievement, Mr. Yusuf Masalam and Shannon Peterson. Also, good evening, returning inductees and tonight's inductees. I am Principal Fisher, principal of Smith Middle School, our AP, Mrs. Kobasi, the NJS advisors, staff, and most of all, current NJHS new inductees, welcome. We are so pleased to have you here to commemorate this memorable event in your child's middle school experience at the third year of O.L. Smith's chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. We will begin with one of our advisors, Dr. Elder.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about the National Junior Honor Society. It's the only service organization at the school that students must get accepted into. The society focuses on scholarship, leadership, service, and character. And in order to participate, the students must possess these qualities and be recommended. Smith first became an official member of the organization in 2014 and accepted 16 students that year. The second year, the school added to its chapter. Tonight, we'll add 15 more. Applicants were required to have a qualified GPA, be committed to the 4 pillars, and be committed to serve. Being a member of this organization requires discipline to juggle school and outside obligations and a commitment to the community. It's customary to have the previous year's officers hand over leadership to the new year's members. So at this time, 2015-2016 committee, 2 of the 4 committee members will give a student perspective on their experience to the new group, who will then elect a new executive board next week. So I'm going to start with Kate Priswara, the president, and then followed by Lynn Nigan, who was our treasurer.
Good evening. For those who don't know me, I'm Kate Priswara, the president of the 2015-2016 NJHS school year. To begin, I wanted to say congratulations to all of the new and previous inductees tonight. Being not only a member, but the president has taught me so much the past 2 years. Through my many service hours, I have learned to be a leader and more responsible. With being a leader, you have to know how to work well with people. The National Junior Honor Society has certainly taught me that. You may not always get along with the people you work with, but that doesn't mean you won't ever have to work with them. With being the president, I have learned to break out of my shell. I can now communicate to more people than just my family and friends. Being the president has not only taught me to communicate, but listen. I have learned to compromise with people and share ideas. In conclusion, I wanted to wish all of the members of NJHS well in their endeavors this year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lynn Nguyen, the treasurer of NJHS from 2015 to 2016. People think that the treasurer doesn't do much, but they actually have a lot of responsibilities. I was chosen as the treasurer because of my honesty, reliability, and trustworthiness. Being the treasurer, you have to keep track of money, records, and forms. My advice to the future treasurer would be to be capable of handling and taking care of the money and to be trustworthy.
Thank you. Kate is now an Edsel Ford ninth grader, and Lynn is doing very well and on her way to high school very soon. And now I'd like to welcome the returning members to introduce the 4 pillars of the National Junior Honor Society, beginning with Xavier Song and Madeline Mendez, who will speak on the first pillar, scholarship.
I light this candle for scholarship.
Scholarship is a foundation that is so important to success in both your personal and school life. This pillar is also the most misunderstood. Scholarship is not just knowing, but understanding, not just memorizing, but applying. A letter on a report card might look good, but a true scholar understands the depth to which learning affects life. It's about going above and beyond, finding the things you love and making those connections with the world around you. There are scholars in every field. Scholars have built our bridges, engineered our trains, founded our great nation, fought our great wars, discovered our most valuable medicines, and composed the most beautiful songs. To NJHS and keep search for the scholar within you. Scholarship may depend on academics for its foundation, but even the smartest kid in class doesn't necessarily have to be a true scholar. It is found in students willing to take the challenge. And now, Alexandra Ambrosia and Sarah Hetner will speak on the pillar of leadership.
I light this candle for leadership.
Leadership is a peculiar skill. Is it learned, inherited, acquired, or does everyone have it? Maybe it all begins on the playground at recess in first grade. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Whether we are talking about an election campaign, U of M football, or a group project. Leaders should be assertive and dedicated to their group. They should be fair and able to problem solve. Yet, there are many qualities of a leader we can't see. Leaders must also be followers. For example, will the people follow the president, or is it the president who follows the people? If a leader is to be successful, he or she must be accepted by those who follow him or her, and the simplest way to ensure that is to listen to them and be sincere. Listen to those they lead. In a personal experience this summer, a soccer team had a difficult choice to make. And I quote, "I was surprised when the captain asked each member of the team a question, and they all said, 'Don't worry, do what is best for the team.' That's when I knew for sure that we were a team, and each and every player was in it for the team, not themselves. And I felt a huge sense of accomplishment as their leader." Finally, a leader must be inspiring, and for the inductees, I leave you with a quote by John Quincy Adams. He said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." And now, Emma Cornejo and Trevor Tate will speak on the National Junior Honor Society Pillar of Service.
I light this candle for service.
Young people, hello, are you working? Young people have demonstrated service in a way that is to be recognized. Through their unselfish ways, they have put others before themselves for a greater good. Whether it has been through Girl Scouts, helping a neighbor, a church mission, or visiting a senior in a nursing faculty that has been forgotten by their children or society, NJHS defines service as the contributes made by a student to the school or community without expecting anything in return. You are expected to continue service through the 5-hour monthly requirement and are able to do this responsibility by organizing and prioritizing your busy day. You can manage your social media and know because you can create boundaries for yourself so you won't hit send without making sure it is in best interest and the interest of others. Without people like you, the world would be much less compassionate. Volunteers are necessary for the aftermath of natural disasters, feeding the hungry and helping the homeless. Performing the simplest act of kindness, congratulations and thank you for your dedication to serve. In joining NHS or NJHS, you are pledging to continue these efforts and improve the world, and in the process, find yourself. And now, Connor Knopp and Matthew Hustle will speak on NJHS Pillar of Character.
I light this candle for character.
Character is the most complicated of the NJHS to define, because with distinguished character comes the dedication to excel academically, to be a leader, and to invest time into serving the community. The recommendations you received from your teachers and others recognize you as possessing honest and integrate. But even when others see of a person does not fully define the quality of their character. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Character is not like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadows is what we think of it. A tree is a real thing." However, one of the key components to exemplify character and integrity involves holding oneself accountable, like what you do when no one else is watching. So members are entrusted to uphold morals, standards, and continue to demonstrate the qualities that brought you here tonight. In the company of fellow members, you will have the opportunity to display these qualities as you organize and carry projects that will benefit others and give you the greatest reward, feeling good. Only through experience will you strengthen yourself and progress through a lifetime journey filled with events that will refine your character, bringing you closer to the honorable adult you are becoming. Congratulations on your membership to this organization.
At this time, we're going to bring the inductees up with a parent or another adult. Students will walk their parent over here to the left. You'll come up. Parents will pin their child, put the NJHS pin on their child. And the pin has significance. That pin has to be worn every time that child serves, whether it's outside or at a meeting or supporting the school. They have to wear the pin. So at this time, we will begin with, I believe that's Miss Baydoun.
Hello. Okay, our first is Zara Al-Saidi. Zara feels service is when you do something that will help a community. The services I performed were in 5th grade orientation because I would like to help students meet new people. Another service I would like to do is help students get involved in special days, the school like College Day. I can't wait to get started with NJHS, says Zara. Thank you. Okay, our next student is Hassan Alakash. Hassan recently joined us after being accepted to NJHS at his former middle school. However, he did not go through an induction ceremony. He states it feels good once you have helped someone. It comes naturally for me, as I have a natural instinct to help people and places, a priority on attendance and grades. He has determined to excel academically and humanitarily because my mom makes me. If I have gotten anything less but A's, I get in trouble. I think he means mom prefers the A's. Welcome to Smith, Hassan. We are happy to have you on board. Our next person is Tu Dawn. I love service opportunities. To me, service is helping someone voluntarily and doing someone a favor out of kindness because it is meaningful and I get to meet new people. I have done different services and currently working with a nonprofit organization. I like being the leader and taking charge of things. I like to plan big projects and let my creativity take flight. I am very dedicated to finish projects on time, correctly, and more importantly, as nice and neat as possible. I am a perfectionist. I've been told by my teachers and students that I am very smart and put a lot of dedication in my work. I have a huge amount of confidence and like to go out of my comfort zone at appropriate times. I also have a witty and humorous side. I like to always be positive, even if I am having a bad day. Thank you, too. Thank you. Our next person is Nathan Durkin. I should be accepted to the NJHS because I always have good grades. I wanted to join last year but missed the deadline. All of my friends wanted me to join and they're good people you can trust. You know their names: Matt, Xavier, and Connor. My plan is to have a more professional job or internship by the age of 15, and by being accepted to NJHS, I will become a better person. I work hard and love helping others, and when kids are having trouble, I try to help out as much as I can. For example, a new student came to Smith one day, and I offered him a seat, and we got to know each other. I also helped them make new friends. If accepted into NJHS, I plan to take any task very seriously. Thank you, Nathan. Our next person is Abraham Farhat. Service means so much to me. It's a way of helping the community by taking care of others, like raking leaves at a senior home, or shoveling snow for a neighbor, or picking up litter as a community service project. I don't expect anything in return, and it's a good feeling. At home and at random places, I serve. For example, I take out the trash for my mom, help my grandma take in her groceries, help my dad wash the car, and then held the door open for others at the store. I also help my grandma who doesn't speak any English. I help her with the TV and get her things when she calls me. It makes me feel great. I would also like to take care of animals at an animal shelter. I hope my helping hand will be a little help to make my community better. Thank you. Our next person is Abigail Hatner. I love doing service for my community and have completed a good amount of service for my community. I believe service is when you help others out of the goodness of your heart and voluntarily. When you complete service for our community, it makes you feel like the people you are helping feel good. When I volunteer at the animal shelter, we give the animals love and care by making toys and treats for them, walking them, and I make cat and dog toys at home using household materials, then donating toys to the shelter. One time, I went to an event at Sacred Heart Church, and we made Christmas gifts for people in the military. I was inspired to join NJHS by my twin sister, Sarah. I was so proud of her. I look up to her for advice because she is so smart and is a great person. When I saw how much happiness happiness helping others gave her, I was inspired to join NJHS. I would like to think that everyone has enough kindness, I then to help others and want to continue to make people feel happy. Thank you. Okay, our next person is Aiden Jeffries. Every morning at Nowlin Elementary School and every afternoon, I help my fellow younger students cross the streets near our school and guided them throughout the day. Being a safety monitor required me to show up early and stay after school to help serve the school community. This required character, an important service for my school. According to Aiden, these qualities are also carried at home. He says, I am the oldest of 2 kids in my family. Scarlett is my little sister. I am her big brother, and I take this role very seriously. My dad says I have to protect and look out for her. My mom says I have to be nice to Scarlett. At times, this is not easy. The being nice part, I manage, despite this. I am glad she looks up to me. I admire how determined she is, and I'm glad I'm her big brother. Aiden is, as an elementary school safety monitor, you will qualify for the AAA scholarship in high school. Thank you. I am going to be transferring the ropes to Miss Savage with our next person. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. The next student would like to call on to is Ahmed Kaid. Service doesn't only help you, but it helps other people too. There are 3 examples of service I would like to point out. The first example would be the Army or Marines, because they are the ones who fight for our freedom, sacrifice their lives for us, and fight to the best of their ability. Another example are the teachers and staff who provide us an education, help with our future, and support us to do our best. Lastly, the most important service of all is the service of our parents, because they are the ones that protect us, support us, and importantly, love us for who we are, not what other people want us to be. I shall name 2 services I have done. The first was helping new students who don't know English. Another was volunteering at the autistic classroom at Nolan. There are more services I have done, but these are my favorite ones. Our next student is Kayla Lindau. There is so much I want to do to help the public. For example, if my peers or someone in my community needed help or looked like they need help, I would help them. I have performed services at Smith and helped the office, staff, teachers, and the custodians. I would love to help at the animal shelter because I hate seeing animals starve or hurt. I would also like to volunteer at a nursing home because I like helping people who don't have family. I know public places and school staff can get their work done, but need a little extra help and are overwhelmed with everything. I am willing to take time out of my days to help people in public placed around my neighborhood. Our next student is Peyton Marion. Service means a couple different things to me. It means being involved and or helping in your community, such as doing good deeds to better your society. The second thing service means to me is doing good deeds and not having to be recognized for doing them. I think National Junior Honor Society will help by motivating me to do more. Positive outcomes of service are solving problems, strengthening communities, and making the lives of others better. It also allows people to mature. Even the little things we do on a daily basis can affect someone. What might be a simple gesture to you may make someone's day. There is a saying that says, a kindness, no matter how small it is never wasted. Taking care of those who need our help and trying to provide a nice environment makes you appreciate of what you have and makes you a humble person. Raven Moulton. My grades are very important to me, and so is my community. Service to me means doing things for the greater good. I am an active church member, and we are always helping people. I mostly enjoy helping the elderly because they have so much knowledge. I love listening to their stories. I am an upstanding student who cares deeply about community service. I also wanted to share that the person who motivated and inspired me to be the person I am today is my pops, Grandpa, or Glenn. He taught me education and knowledge is the golden ticket, and with a golden ticket, you can get the job you want and money. With that, you will be at self-actualization. You could accomplish your goals and set new ones for yourself. Although he is not with us today in person, he is on FaceTime in Florida. Thank you, Pops, for being in my life. Nathan Nuri. Whether it is helping another classmate or just doing my chores about the house. I was chosen captain of the safety patrol by teachers at Nolan Elementary. I enjoyed this because I got to work with the younger kids, showing them the right way to behave in school. I was involved in Stand Against Bullying and Gleaner Food Bank, bagging 714 pounds of apples, which equaled 607 meals for homeless people. This year made me think really hard. I would like to be a good role model for the rest of the students, teachers, and parents, but how do I do that? First, I model by example, and then I will help other students. If I could help just one person achieve a better grade or become more organized. Finally, I can be an example in classes by not being disruptive, listening, and offering to help my teachers. Nathan, you too can apply for the Safety Patrol Scholarship in high school. Nure Redzip. I have been involved in many activities and service. Service to me is kindness and a way to give something into others. I noticed many things, including smaller kids who would look up to me for help with carrying books. I have achieved many things at my age, including selling Girl Scout cookies, competing in dance competitions, and volunteering at the Dearborn Fire Station. With so many accomplishments in my life so far, I see myself providing service at O.L. Smith and JHS. I would like to be a part of the community service and do nice things around the city, like helping families in need, planting flowers at parks, or cleaning up communities and show them that O.L. Smith has the best students around. Owen Richardson. Even though I didn't realize it, I have performed many service in my lifetime. I have done chores like mow the lawn, take out the garbage, pull weeds, vacuum, sweep, unload the dishwasher, and run errands. I have also done more leisure services like plant flowers, take my dog for a walk, and even ride my bike. You might be wondering, how is riding your bike a service? And how does it give back to your community? Riding your bike is a service because while riding it, you are reducing the amount of air pollution by riding instead of driving a car. Even that one choice could make a big difference in your community's health and well-being. My long list proves that anyone can get out there and give back to their community or the environment around them in the form of a service. In conclusion, it doesn't matter what service you're performing, whether it's big or small, a chore or a leisure activity, or if it's done inside school or out, it could have a huge impact on your community and environment around you. So remember that. Cassandra Townsend. The textbook definition of service is the action of helping or doing work for someone. I'm supposed to define what service means to me, but I can't stray far from the actual definition. I've spent my whole life performing acts of service for someone else, some by choice, but others not. Up until May 2016, I was an active caregiver for my grandmother, who has sadly passed. I would help her with everything from logging onto the Wi-Fi to making her bed and vacuuming for her. Those acts of service made up about 11 years of my life. I have a pretty large history of political campaigns. Growing up, my mother was into politics and still is. That service of mine definitely affected the way I view campaigns and how much they actually need. This is my last year at Smith, and I want to make it count. I plan to work with my fellow peers who have become reckless in hallways, classrooms, and the lunchroom, and want to put a stop to that behavior. I am really looking forward to helping my school and community. It's how I was raised, and it's how I plan to continue to live my life. Jason Tolsdorf. I feel honored that I was considered to be part of the NJHS. I've worked hard to get to this point in my educational career through hard work and strict dedication to my studies. I feel being in a program like NJHS will keep me on my path to achieve my goals. As dedicated as I was to my grades, I couldn't have done it without the help of my loving mother. Even when in the first grade my handwriting was legitimately upside down and backwards, she saw my potential. She always found a way to be the rock of a stressful situation by calming me down and refocusing me. Thank you for your time and this opportunity to keep proving myself that anything that is bad or could slow you down doesn't have to stop you. Thank you.
Good evening. Inductees, please rise and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Junior Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Congratulations.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. Lion titanium, shoot me down, but I won't fall. Lion titanium, calm me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town and haunted love. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. Lion titanium, shoot me down, but I won't fall. Lion titanium, lion titanium, lion titanium, stone Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. I am titanium.
Thank you, Dahlia, Rachel, and Sarah. Okay, members, now that you're official, with that comes a responsibility. You were given a packet of information, and in that packet, there are service opportunities. Don't limit yourself to what's in the packet, and I encourage you to reach out beyond your comfort level, reach out beyond the boundaries of Dearborn. I'd like to thank the parents, the grandparents, all the significant people that contributed to your lives. I enjoyed reading, the committee enjoyed reading your experiences. At this time, I'd like to bring up the 2015-16 NJHS members who made a huge contribution last year. Some of them are returning. The group was the backbone to the organization. They were so full of energy, led and served, which made our job easier. And as adults, we don't always know if our students are listening to the wisdom behind our lectures or expectations, but I can assure you this group of students had me on my toes and then some. Some are campaigning for re-election, others are reminding me of the next meeting or asking for the agenda, and some of you are true, silent, unsung heroes. So as I call your name, please come up to the stage and be recognized. I don't believe we have any of the high schoolers left. Alexandra Ambrosia, Sarah Hetner, Lynn Nigan, Ariel Downs, is Ariel still here? Emma Cornejo, Morgan Hewley, Morgan I think is ill, Nicole Silvers, Siri Gordon, Connor Knapp, Xavier Song, Triana McEachran, who is our pianist, and Trevor Tate.
You're missing two people. You're missing.
Matt Hutzel and Madeline Mendez, I'm sorry. They were wonderful. Lynn, thank you guys. Thank you. And now Mr. Fisher with closing remarks, and then the recessional.
Good evening, NJHS members, families, friends, district representatives, and staff. Thank you for attending Smith's third induction ceremony. On behalf of O.L. Smith, I would like to congratulate all NJHS members and everyone who contributed to the growth of these young leaders. Families, you are welcome to help yourself to your child's inspirational statement on the stands in the atrium. Thanks to the families, friends, Mrs. Peterson, Dr. Masalam, and district representatives. And thank you, staff and students, for coming out to support our new NJHS members. At this time, Nicole and Lynn end the ceremony by putting out the candles, then leading the recessional.